Hello, and welcome to Dear Dana. And we have a lot to talk about today. It is a Wednesday. It is June 1st. Summer is falling in our laps, and it is hot, and the ATL is hot in Georgia. It is hot, hot, hot for many reasons today. Yes, we know. Things are cooking, things are stirring, and what do we know but Johnny Depp won on all counts. Yes, he did. I am happy about that. Justice for Johnny became a real thing. And I want to talk about justice. Hey there, Sarah Snow. Justice for Johnny. In the beginning, I had done a little tinkering and asking from above would Johnny win on all counts, and my feeling was, and my message was, yes, yes, yes. But as it went on, I got a little worried. Not worried that he wouldn't win, but worried about would it be on all counts? Because we're dealing with a jury, and you don't know, there were so many questions. I wondered, would it be on all counts? I felt like in the big picture, he would definitely win on most. Like I said initially, I felt like it would be on all counts. But I had to, went back and forth and thought, would it be on all? Because you're dealing with a lot of minds. And the law is peculiar. Hey, Mom. Hey, tell her I said hey. Tell Cheryl I said hey. And I'm so, so happy about it. So happy about it. At first, I got confused about the one area that Amber got, but I'm not so much so about them calling back the cops and them saying, oh, she messed up everything and blah, blah, blah. Because when the cops came back, cops number 2 didn't see anything messed up either. They didn't see anything messed up either. So technically, the mess up would have had to have been when cops number 2 left. So I see why the jury had to make that reasoning about no and about giving her that. So I see that. So I see that gimme for her, but that's not really a win, is it? No. So, in my opinion, he's free. He's free, and he's... Whew. And they both made statements. She is still so, Lord have mercy on her soul. She is still so clearly not getting the message. She's so in her own world about it. Definitely in her own world about it. She still wants to fight for the right to say that she is the right one in this. She's tone deaf. Tone deaf. She wants her supporters to still be there for her. I mean, I guess who wouldn't, right? I guess who wouldn't. But, in my opinion, hey, vintage optimism, the girl is canceled. She's going to be canceled. I would like for her ultimately to get help and take care of that baby. Get help and take care of that baby. And, I wrote a note to Johnny. I hope he sees it. But ultimately, I would like him to breathe, be free and breathe, see that all people support him. They've seen the truth, that he can be free in this and get healthy and see how much support people have had for him and been behind him, right? And have this sense about him that, wow, people love and support me, my children, everybody loves and supports me. I owe it to myself and others to be healthy. To be healthy. I hope that's the message he gets out of this. And I get the feeling he's been clean and sober, unless he's what do they say, California sober. I want him to be sober. That is a big wish I have for him. And we're going to talk about justice too. Because I was talking to my daughter about it. Does she believe in justice? Does she think it's only for wealthy people or famous people? Would she fight for justice for herself? Had she thought about that? And it was a topic that started spinning around in my head because I fight for it. Even when I feel knocked down, I fight for it. I fight for justice, not just for somebody like Johnny Depp. I fight for what I believe is right, even if it knocks me off my feet for a minute. I fight for it. Not just for myself, but as an example to others. I fight for it. Even if it's dragging me by my butt, I'm going to fight for it. Doesn't make me special. It doesn't make me special. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to do the intro. Hey, Sound TV and Major. She says, I can't stay. I just wanted to leave a thumbs up to show some love and say what a big win this was for those who were scared to come forward. Bravo. And I hope that's the message that so many people across the country get, and they don't get the ambered up message where they think that she has let people down. I don't want that to be the message people get. I want people across the country to get the innocent until proven guilty message, the speak up if you need to speak up message. That's the message that needs to flow across the country. But anyway, love you, Son TV. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Always appreciate you. Oh, let me throw the thing down. Here we go. Oh yeah. All right. Here we are again. But yes, Santivia, one of my favorite people. Thank you so much. But yeah, everybody says, look how Amber has put women back. We don't have to be put back unless we allow it. We don't have to let an Amber put women back. Just like Johnny Depp has allowed men to know if they are in an ABUSD situation, they can step forward and say, yes, I too have been in an ABUSD situation. Women don't have to cower and say, because Amber played it hoax and tried to make it seem like she was in one, that women cannot be listened to or trusted. No, this was one person that did this. One that tried to step on a platform to get more famous or to get in the limelight. You cannot say that one who perpetuated this to get more folly is going to take the power away or the voice away from people that are legitimately in that situation. No, no, no. Do not cower down because of one very troubled woman. No. You have a voice. You can find support. Do not back down. Never back down. There is justice. Never feel like you don't have justice. Always make a plan. Always make a plan. Tell one person you trust. Don't, there's one Amber. Don't let her take your voice away from you. She's tone deaf. There is justice. I want the message of all of this to be for the men that are in the situation that have never spoken up. Not to be that women cannot speak up. There will be a better representative than she. She has deep-seated mental health problems. And it's not the mental health problems that caused this. It is the darkness and selfishness in her that caused this, the need to be famous. Not the mental health problems, it's the need she had to be rich and famous. Please let that be clear. It's the need to be rich and famous. Before we go further on the topic of justice, 2 minutes out of the courthouse, I don't know if she went ahead and posted it or her girlfriend went ahead and posted it for her. Hey, Cheryl Snow. Thank you for that heart. I am so happy to see you here. This is what Amber Heard had posted. This is how tone deaf she is. And it is said that she plans on trying to fight this. But this is what she said or had posted on Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and share it. You probably cannot, you probably can't read it because I don't know how to blow it up well. So that being said, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but I will share it and try to read it. Maybe you can read it. I don't know. We shall see how big we can get it. I don't have it scrolled up big enough. Let me stop sharing, see how big I can get it. Amber's post. Okay, I will do it. Okay, here it is. I'll do it this way. I just could not believe it. Yeah, I can believe it. That was a dumb thing to say. Dumb thing to say. Okay, here's what she said. The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband. I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could publicly be shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. I believe Johnny's attorney succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech and ignore evidence that was so conclusive that we won in the UK. I don't know if he had a jury in the UK. I don't think he did. I'm sad I lost this case, but I'm sadder still that I seem to have lost a right I thought I had as an American to speak freely and openly. Are you kidding me? Thoughts on that? Can you believe it? She doesn't represent me either. She does not represent me. What mountain of evidence did she have? Um, I watched the whole thing. What mountain of evidence did she have? And her speaking said nothing. Her speaking, she spoke a lot of lies that were proven in court. And a lot of times when she would speak, my brain felt like scrambled eggs. And that's the truth. Because she was all over the place. My brains felt like scrambled eggs. Um, I have to show you something very funny, by the way. Very funny that I found recently. She did something I found after the case was already over. Um, you know how she said she never does, does drugs? How dare he and all this other stuff? I found so many things online. I have to share this with you. Since I'm not monetized yet, I have to share this with you. Um, it's an interview she did about Aquaman.
Hi,
Hi, Amber. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Pleasure to speak with you. Thank you for taking the time.
No, I'm happy to.
So, let's talk about this character. When you
As you
started,
see here,
researching
she's trying to put
Mira
on a
and then started trying to
little
imagine your own
pin they gave
interpretation
her.
of the character. What was that process
We're
like? Was it really
reacting
just
to
about
this, by the way.
researching and reading as much
Fair
as you can,
play.
or was it about finding a way into it personally and finding a way to bring yourself to her?
But that's a good question. I think for me, honestly, the most of the battle was in
She
um,
works a few minutes to
getting,
do it.
you know, getting enough, well, getting familiar enough with the character um,
You notice she's not
to
looking up. Now
justify
she looks up.
participating in the comic book world that I, up until that point, was kind of, admittedly a little ignorant to and unfamiliar with. I just didn't, it's not a world I'm familiar with. And I thought I had a vague sense or vague understanding of what I could expect the representation of my character would be based on the vague understanding of the representation I had seen in women in that particular genre, especially. And so I was pleasantly surprised uh, when I read in, when I heard that she was an empowered superhero in her own right, when she was a badass, kick ass,
Where is
empowered woman
she?
with agency.
What is she
And
on?
then I was even more pleasantly surprised when I read in the comic book that same sensibility echoed in just right out of the gate, right off the bat. She, is rescuing this town and says something to someone who mistakenly asks if that was Aqua Woman, and she stops and she says, "No, I have my own name. I'm my own person. I have my own name. My name
Okay.
is Mira." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that to me was representative of the kind of character I wanted to play." And so, from that point on, it was icing on the cake.
Okay.
So in developing a relationship with Jason, I think your guys' chemistry and the humor that you bring and the rapport that you bring is such an integral part of the movie's
I can't believe she's sitting
joy.
still.
So what was that? I mean, obviously, I think you
What
guys
are
have a
your
very easy
thoughts?
chemistry. But how did you develop that chemistry to begin with? How did you guys meet? How much did you guys improvise and play off each other in
Somebody
developing your
probably
characters
told her to
together?
sit still.
Well, I was lucky to have had time to get to know him when we did Justice League in London, and because even though my part was small in that, it required a lot of training. I was there for a long time, And so we got to know each other and we became friends. We hit it off instantly. Jason and I are very similar in certain ways. We like similar things.
I'm going to stop it there. So, anyway. I'm going to stop it there because, I mean, you get a clear enough idea that something is not quite right. Something's not quite right. She was not coherent, let's just say. Alcohol, something else, not quite sure. But if you go on the YouTubes and you say intoxicated amber, you will find quite a few things. Now, let's go to Johnny. Johnny made a post today, and this is what he said. He said, and I have to put glasses, there's no way you could read it if I pulled it up. 6 years of my life, the life of my children, the lives of those closest to me, and also the lives of the people who for many, many years have supported and believed in us were forever changed. All in the blink of an eye. False, very serious, and criminal allegations were levied at me via the media, which triggered an endless barrage of hateful content, although no charges were ever brought against me. It had already traveled around the world twice within a nanosecond, and it had a seismic impact on my life and my career. And 6 years later, the jury gave my life back. I am truly humbled. My decision to pursue this case, knowing very well the height of the legal hurdles that I would be facing and the inevitable worldwide spectacle into my life, was only made after considerable thought. From the very beginning, the goal of bringing this case was to reveal the truth regardless of the outcome. Speaking the truth was something that I owed to my children and to all those who have remained steadfast in their support of us. I feel at peace knowing I have finally accomplished that. Anyway, that was his letter, and it has 11 million likes at this point. I'm sure it will have millions more. I see you in the bushes, and I appreciate you. But she already plans to appeal. My question to you all is, do you believe in justice? Do you believe in justice for yourself? How do you feel this is going to affect justice for women, for instance? Do you feel that it's going to make it more difficult for women? I think that we will fight just as hard. Just like Willow said, she doesn't represent me. I don't feel like it is going to be harder for women. Yet she lied under oath. I never saw her as someone who represented me. I never believed the story. Most of the world wanted him to win. So why should we take it as a knock to us? I feel like people believe if you don't have a lot of money, if you are not rich or famous, that justice is not for you. so much of that ideal has to do with your own belief system. If you think justice is not for you, then it's not for you. If you think justice is for you, then it is for you. It's what you go out of the gate believing. It is all about your mindset. It is all about the real truth of the matter, not something confabulated. Is that really a word? Did I make that word up? Yes, Cheryl. Cheryl said, it's case by case. Men need to be heard too. Yes, she lied, but her lies were revealed. Should not affect justice. Exactly. When she was in the UK, some of the same evidence was used, but not all of the evidence was revealed. Not all of the evidence was revealed. Not all of it was picked apart. Not all of it was heard. There was a lot of evidence not even allowed to be heard in this case, like the Australian audios where she admitted to chopping off his finger with the bottles. Now she's in trouble in Australia for glassing. If anyone doesn't know what that is, let me know, because that's highly illegal in Australia. She's also in trouble in the UK. Forgot what she's in trouble in the UK for. So here she is in trouble in two different countries. But she wants to appeal this case. We have to believe in our truth enough to fight for justice and not give up based on believing that justice cannot be ours. That is where we ultimately lose. If we believe that we cannot receive justice, we lose before we ever get to the gate. You'll never get it then. Just like Cheryl says, it should be a case-by-case basis. You have to be willing, just like he did, to lay it all out. When you feel like you have nothing to lose, you have to be willing to lay it all out. Hey, Dee Marie. No, she can't let go. Yes, she has BPD and HPD. And again, it is not because of her personality disorders. They don't help, but it's not because of the personality disorders that this occurred. It is because she has selfishness and ego and darkness that is in her way. Those aspects of human nature are what get people in the deepest depths of trouble. There are a lot of people with BPD or HPD that have relationship problems, etc., that do not go to these depths. She has had the need to control and be on top of and want to be famous and rich and be the big dog, the main pit bull, the leader of the pack, by any means necessary, that she sacrifices everyone around her. You watched in the courtroom, she threw everyone under the bus. Her sister, her attorneys, her doctors, people that were testifying for her. Every single person under the bus. Parents. So, what I want to speak to are every one of us, because I'm hearing people say, she has ruined it for women out there. She has ruined it for the steps women have had to take for justice out there. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that one woman, one selfish, dark woman, has ruined it for women across the entire country. I refuse that. I rebuke that. Women across this country are smarter and wiser and stronger than that. In spite of any circumstance that you're in, even if it is a bad one, you are much stronger and smarter than any Amber Heard. And if you're listening to me now, I want you to understand that. If you are in a circumstance now that you need to get out of, I want you to hear me now. You are stronger and smarter than her. You will be able to get out of your circumstance. Speak to a friend that you trust. Begin slowly making a plan for yourself. Put money back where you can hide it. Little by little, begin making a safety plan. Keep it to yourself. Make a safety plan to go somewhere else. Speak to a friend you trust. Take photos, take notes, keep a journal, document everything. Document, document, document. Photograph. Keep it all tucked somewhere that it cannot be found. Keep it with a friend you trust. Whatever you have to do. You are stronger and smarter than any Amber Heard that exists. Don't do what she did. You can have justice. You can have justice. Look for resources. Reach out. Do not ever believe, because of one Amber Heard, that you will not be believed. Don't ever believe that. She is one dark, self-obsessed woman that was only out for herself. You can have justice. People that speak the truth are heard. It was obvious when she was in the courtroom, she was not speaking the truth. People could hear and understand and feel that. People could hear it, and even the men that were enamored with her looks could hear and feel and understand that. It no longer worked. Even the police understood that. Because when they went, they saw nothing. That's why it didn't work. She reported nothing. Because had she reported something, she could be arrested for false report. That's why she didn't comply with the officers. Does everyone understand? So when she did the restraining order with a friend, that was different. She was just doing a restraining order. It was different than making a report to an officer so someone would be picked up. They were very sneaky about it. How do you feel in the chat about justice? Everyone's coming off a holiday weekend. I still feel like justice exists. I have seen cases in the world where people did not receive justice. I've seen cases where it had to do with race, where people did not receive justice. And they've had to fight. I've seen injustice in the world. But ultimately, you have to keep fighting. Have I experienced injustice? Yes, I have. But I refuse to stop fighting until justice occurs. It is quiet in the chat tonight. And this will be the last Johnny Depp Amber Heard conversation I have tonight. But I did want to focus on justice when I heard the conversations about how it will affect women coming forward and the justice that will or will not occur. It truly bothered me. I just don't feel like it's going to turn out like that. I feel like it's going to tweak things differently because of the darkness or the way it tainted things. She was supposed to represent, and she shined a darker light than she should have. So there's going to be people that are more particular about who they let represent them. Thank you, Cheryl. She says, injustices have occurred, but I have to believe in justice. Thank you, Cheryl. Hey, Virginia Woolf. He says, justice was served, so this is good for everyone that needs justice. Virginia Woolf, were you surprised by the outcome? I feel good about the verdict too. Initially I was surprised she got anything, but I understand it now. I understand their thinking. And I feel that, I hate so many people came out just to see Johnny, but I want people to use their heads more about true justice for people, and I want it to be more about innocent until proven guilty. Virginia Woolf says, as this case went on, I realized how much she was lying, so I became more aware that he was innocent as it went on. Yeah, thank you, Virginia Woolf. Hey, Shoeless, one morning, everyone. Dee Marie says, man or woman, it's easier to see what to look like for an abuser. Yeah. I want people to be able to know that they can fight for their own justice. I don't want people to think that they have to roll over, that they have to roll over. There's something I've been fighting for years that I thought I would never, ever get. That I have been fighting not a company. I was told something that was lost that I needed desperately, and it had to do with counseling. It's like medical stuff when you work in as a doctor, as a therapist, or whatever. And I told it was lost, and I've been fighting for it for years. Told it was lost, and finally, after pushing and putting my foot down, all of a sudden, I got it yesterday. Voila, got it yesterday, and it was illegal that they would not give it to me. Illegal that they wouldn't give it to me. And after doing it in a polite but firm way, like pushing, it finally shows up yesterday. Because I mentioned that I would have to document as I go before the board. And all of a sudden it shows up yesterday. And it's taken years for me to get it. Years. I kid you not. Years. They should have given it to me over a decade ago. And I finally got it yesterday. I could have just given up. And I finally got it yesterday. I've been fighting for this to go into private practice. If you want to know the truth, fighting for it. And I just got it yesterday. Thanks, Cheryl. I mean, I still got some hurdles to go over, but shoo-wee. Virginia Woolf says, I'm mostly happy that Johnny didn't do things that she claimed. It makes me feel better about life in general. I'm happy that he's not an ABUSC. Yeah, me too. She made some terrible... Oh, it's bad. Yeah. Thank you. But it's like, at what point do we fight for justice or we throw our hands up? Thank you, Dee Marie. And you think, what happens if we throw our hands up? How could life look different if we keep fighting? And some people go, and I was guilty of it. At one point, I was like, I can't do this. Life is like this, and this is happening, and what's the point? Thank you, Virginia Woolf. And you're like, what's the point? Thank you, Sarah. And you do ask yourself, what is the point? Is it going to be in my favor anyway? What's the point? So when do you fight and when do you not? Some people go, it's just as worth it. Do you ever ask yourself, is justice worth it? Is it worth it to be right? Well, in relationships, you ask yourself, is it worth it to be right? Yeah, I don't believe in regrets either. But when it's a relationship, you don't always have to be right. That kind of thing is different, right? I don't always have to be right in a relationship. That kind of thing is different. When it's justice for something bigger, that's vastly different. You do have to choose your battles. When it's the greater good, when it's something that is going to make a difference in your life, when it's something that is about the right thing for your family, your children, for what you believe in, for something that has tarnished your integrity, something that's huge, like for Johnny Depp. You're right, you have to pick your battles. You cannot let people just run over you, dismiss you, treat you like you don't matter. So you have to decide what you believe in and what matters, right? Some things don't matter. If it's about who's getting the last piece of pie, not that kind of justice. That doesn't matter so much. If it's about a promotion at work, do you fight for it? If you deserve it and you did all the work, and they're giving it to Joe Schmo that didn't do the work and doesn't deserve it, do you fight for it? Is that about justice that you would fight for it? Hmm. I might put in a little push there. I might have to put in a little push there. If it's just blatantly wrong. Or either go to another job. I would have too much if I was doing all the work and I did all of it and they got the promotion and I would have to put in a little push there or go get another job because I would be bitter. I would probably be bitter. Yeah. I mean, DeMarie said he risked having women all over the world doing this. That took a lot of courage. When you say doing that, what do you mean? Yeah, I would lose faith in that company for sure, Cheryl. And I've seen company do that because the women would do all the work and they were focused more on men and not giving women the money or the status that they did the men. Because companies still often pay men more than they do women. I mean, Johnny, not rightfully so, but like I've said before, if you don't handle your trauma or the things you stuff in your shadow, you have a tendency to marry or get in relationships with people that mirror trauma that you've had in your life until you have healed that. And once you've healed it, then you go on to healthier relationships. You don't attract those relationships anymore. People go, why do I keep getting the same kind of, the bad relationships? The same thing over and over again because they're attracting those unhealed wounds from the past because they haven't learned to deal with them yet. You attract what you haven't healed. When you say Johnny really risked having women all over the world doing this, You mean having men be in ABUSC relationships? Is that what you mean, Dee? I'm not sure. It took a lot of courage for him to share that he was in that because a lot of men don't want to admit it. By refuting claims of ABUSC and expressing that he was the one being in that. Yeah, a lot of men don't like to admit it, number one, because they think it makes them look weak. First of all, they think it makes them look weak because they're in it and don't know how to get out of it. And secondly, yeah, having to fight those claims is just horrific because she did a good job of making, because she was smaller and all of that stuff. And typically it is the woman that is dealing with it. But she just did a job on him. Like you said, he wasn't even um, charged with anything, and he was already looked like that. But see, because he wasn't willing to lay hands on it, think of it. If he wasn't willing to lay hands on her, how easy it was for her to do these things to him, knowing he had that kind of background. Oh, Lord, I know. To set people up for that. I hope it doesn't make people think, oh, girl, she did that. Let me do this to her. I hope it doesn't make women think, oh, I'm going to do this. And see, that's another fear. But some women probably already, I'm sure women have already. I mean, I saw girls in high school that would turn around and slap guys in the face. And guys would just take it because it was a girl. Girls that would act horrific to their boyfriends. And the guy would be a big guy and he'd just take it. And I was like, whoa. I mean, she would just run him like a goat in the field because she was small and he was big. And he would just take it. And he was raised not to lay hands on a girl. So he would just take it. And she would just do it because she knew he was raised like that. And he was not about to harm her. And girls would take advantage of that. And some guys were drawn to women like that because their moms were like that. It's that trauma bond. And we've all heard that word used. It's like one of the favorite words floating around, the trauma bond. And it goes both ways. And it's like the big secret. Guys don't talk about that. You know, all that pain floats in both directions. Floats in both directions. Men just don't generally talk about it because, you know, guys talk about that word, you know, like a pussycat, that first word, but they say wit. They don't like to be called wit. Oh, I 100% agree, Virginia. He needs to work on himself, and I'm sure he knows he needs to. I still think Johnny needs to work on himself. The tapes of him yelling and calling her names were god awful. I do not disagree. And there are couples that do yell when they argue. It is awful. But if that's the worst thing he did, and I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's good. But if that's the worst thing he did, she's lucky. Because she gave it to him 10 spade. I've heard some audios even worse than that from her. I've seen men who were the ABUSDRs lie to the police saying the women did that to them and get away with it. It can happen to anyone. Yes, it can. It definitely can. And look, you know the guy that was married to her friend Rocky that lived in the place to answer the door to the cops? And part of his, where they interviewed him, right? What they cut off, she was having threesomes up in the bedroom in the beginning of the marriage with another model and Elon Musk and other people from the beginning of the marriage when Johnny Depp was not there, among other people. It was going on from the beginning when Johnny wasn't there. He testified to that. They just didn't let it in the court. Did you know that? Congratulations, Virginia, on what? What did I miss? What did I miss, Paranormal? What did... What did I miss? What am I congratulating? What are you congratulating on him? Sorry it took so long. My kids need to go to bed. Oh, I'm sorry they were fighting. I hope your little one's better, Willow. There's so much they didn't let in on the court. So much. Oh, I'm being mod. Yeah. There's so much. I mean, the heart of this all, I want the people here and the people listening and the people in the bushes that will listen later and the people that may need help. I want you to believe in justice. I want you to still believe in justice. I want you to be able to let your voice be heard. Do not let Amber Heard to be an example that you do not have support and people out there that are going to help you. To know that you can be on the side of right. That justice is also made for yourself. She was not out there to represent you. If you want justice, justice is yours. Believe on that and keep pushing forward fearlessly and with faith. Trust and believe in that, and trust and believe in something bigger than yourself, in a creator bigger than yourself. And call forth angels. Call forth your angels. Know that they are there for you. I know you think I'm crazy, but I'm not. You must call for the assistance. Because nothing can go against your own free will. Nothing. Your free will is everything. Again, if you do not believe you have justice, you do not. Your mindset is everything. Your belief is everything. Without that, you might as well give up. Cheryl says it's also crazy making living with a narcissist 150%. because they will gaslight you to the ends of the earth. A narcissist will gaslight you to the ends of the earth and use you as a source, a feeding source. And you have to be aware of when you're being gaslit, because they will change the awareness of how your brain thinks. They will change your reality. The most intelligent person in the world can be gaslit. How do you think Elon Musk fell into Amber Heard's trap? Nobody said he has the most common sense in the world, but he is a very intelligent man. One of the richest people in the world. And he fell into her web. How do you think? Narcissists are like black widows, trying to get you into a sticky trap, gaslighting your own awareness of the world, making you question everything about your own reality. And you have to put yourself in check. You have to document things. Why do you think Johnny Depp started recording conversations in the first place? Because he had to put a check on reality. Because she was always telling him, oh, that didn't happen. You're not remembering right. No, Johnny, that didn't happen. I didn't do that. So he began recording. Told her he was going to record. She would forget about it. Because he needed a check on reality about what was really going on. Because she was screwing with his head, screwing with reality. He needed a reality check about what was happening. That's how the whole recording with the audio began in the first place. That's how it occurred. But when she would do audio, she would ask permission. She would try to find something compromising if she could. Girl, if the woman is young enough to be his daughter, he needs to walk on. The boy needs to walk on. If he hadn't learned by now, he needs some heavy therapy. I do understand that today, when he was texting or writing to Emily D. Baker's chat when they were announcing the jury's verdict, and that Dr. Duffy was with him, from my understanding, when they were texting to Emily D. Baker. Dr. Duffy was with him. I don't think he's dating Dr. Duffy. He's supposed to be in Europe somewhere, I believe, playing. He had an appointment to play. So that is a good thing. Look, he needs to date anywhere from I would say 38 up wouldn't be terrible. Wouldn't be terrible. Or 39 up. 39 up wouldn't be terrible. No, nothing under. $39 up wouldn't be terrible. I wouldn't mind saying 40 or older, but you know. I do not want to see him with any teeny bops. I would like to see him with a professional woman. I'd like to see him with an attorney or someone. I think he was with Dr. Duffy. I mean, Dr. Curry, sorry. I don't know why I want to keep calling her Duffy. Dr. Curry. Dr. Curry was in the chat, and I think Johnny was with her. I would like to see him with more of a professional woman rather than a modelly or actress type. One that's not in the business. He needs somebody not in the business. T says, I'll take him. I'd like to see him somebody that's not so much in the business. Meaning not an actress, not a singer. Somebody doing something else. You know what I mean? Like, look who George, what's his name? Can't even remember his name. The one that married an attorney. The actor that married an attorney. I used to know his name. George Clooney. Thank you, Eden. That's a good mix right there. He married an attorney. That's a good pairing. Too bad he couldn't marry Camille. That might have been a good pairing, but I think Camille would want him to be a little more grounded. You know, justice for Johnny should teach us about our own justice. And I want the message to be spread around social media that Amber does not have to reflect our own idea about our own justice, or about the justice for DV survivors, SA survivors, or those that feel they need to reach out in the world. She does not represent our own justice. She does not represent our justice. She is not our voice. That needs to be hashtag, she is not our voice. People are not going to make us think that we do not have a voice because of her. We still have a voice. She is not our voice. We believe in justice. So we need to make our own damn hashtag. Oh crap. She is not our voice. She is not our voice. We believe in justice. I don't know who she thinks she is, wanting to make people think that we don't think that we still have power and we still believe in justice and we still have a voice, and that she didn't break that down because of this. It is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I believe in justice. And as long as I have breath and I can help somebody, I will help somebody. I'm not an attorney, but I can make things move. Literally and figuratively. We'll see what happens. Her and that girlfriend are still trying to rock the Twitters. She thinks that Adam, whatever his name, was trying to rock the Twitters. Twitters are not going to let her get by with all that false narrative she's still trying to run. I don't wish her any harm. She has a baby. She needs to stop and take a breath. Get some help. I say hashtag help for Amber And I don't mean money, I mean psychological help. Amber needs to go get help. People need to stop being mean and tell her to go get some help. Put good energy and tell her to go get help. She's not going to take our voice away. And as of Saturday, we go back to our normal programming. And doesn't mean that I'm not going to hit up a case from time to time, and I'm not going to get passionate about things that are going on in the normal world. And I do want to have a panel up here. What are your thoughts about having a panel of people to have discussions about things? I don't want you guys to get tired of hearing me just talk about spiritual things and psychological things and being bored with just me. Don't want you to get bored with just me. We will go back to some of our previously talked about spiritual topics, psychological topics. And I do want to hear from you about what do you want to hear from me? Drop it in the chat, drop it in the comments, send me a private message, whatever you want to do. You know, I like the feedback. I listen to what you have to say. And I do not want you to get bored with me. And also, let's get the party started and let's get things cranked up because I do want to do some giveaways. I want to do some private sessions. I want to give away some prizes as well. And I may even give away hypnosis or a private reading. You just never know. I haven't done one of those in a while for anyone. Yes, there is perjury involved. Oh, she's definitely perjured herself. Too bad it is a civil case. Too bad it's a civil case. It has been so long since I have offered angel readings or a regular reading. People probably forget that I even do readings in here. It's just a shame what is going on in the world, for sure. But anyway, we are going to start wrapping it up. I want you to think about your own fierceness and your own ideas of justice. You didn't forget Cheryl? Yeah, it's been a long time. See, I met Cheryl a long time ago. A long time ago. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. See, I don't like openly talk a lot about that on here. Only people don't really know. Well, they know, but yeah. I don't know if they're scared of me. I've offered a couple of times before, and they don't take me up on it. So thank you, Willow. People don't take me up on it. I sure do appreciate it. I was like, what, you? Yeah, maybe they are shy. I don't know. I was like, are people scared of me? People don't come up when I drop the link. Um, when I've offered uh, readings, they don't do that. When I've said, is a love offering, they don't do that. I'm like, okay then, alrighty then. We won't do that. But anywho, it's been a slow week. I don't know, maybe it's the holidays. I don't know what's going on. But Saturday will be totally different. Drop what you would be interested in talking about, and that will be my Saturday thoughts. Johnny Depp, that conversation is over. He won. I'm deliriously happy about it, but we are going to start changing things up a bit on the show. Whether it's alternative medicine, back to spiritual topics, psychological things, we're back on the road again. But when the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing came up, ooh, honey, I was passionate about that because I'd already been diving into it and I knew she was guilty. I knew the girl was guilty. But I love you all so, so, so much. I will see you bright and shiny on Saturday night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you all that are in the bushes. I see and appreciate you too. I hope you have a wonderful, loving, snoozy night. Virginia Woolf said, yeah, you called it, Dana. Yeah, I was worried when I called it. But anyway, I appreciate you all. I have the most wonderful mods. I am so happy to see you, Cheryl. You just don't know. Look, Cheryl is as beautiful as Sarah is. If you don't know, she is as beautiful as Sarah is. I didn't. I think I met. How long has it been since I met you, Cheryl? You are Cheryl. That's the truth. Yeah, probably because y'all look a little alike. It's been over a decade. But anyway, I love you all so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, over 10 years. And remember, your vibe attracts your tribe, and justice is up to you. I will see you all next time. Oh, yeah, and if you want to buy me a coffee, the information is down below. And please leave your comments. After the video is over, please leave your comments below. Tell me what you want to talk about. Tell me what you want to hear. And I'll see you Saturday. Bye, everybody. And we are out. Take it easy. Let me find it. Here we go. Bye. Oh, yeah. Please like and subscribe. Why did I forget to say that? Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. I don't know why I need to say that and forget. Thank you so much. Bye bye.